years to do that. And there was 15 judges. But now Israel had a king. His name was Saul. But after a few years of Saul being the king, the people were fussing and complaining again. The people there who were not pleased and complained because he was unknown from the farm. And this is what they said, and y'all are our people, so I need y'all to repeat after me. Can such a man as this save us?
Can such a man as this save us?
We have no respect to the king.
We have no respect to the king.
And in our hearts, we will look down upon him.
We will look down upon him.
Awesome, thank you. So Saul said nothing and showed his wisdom by appearing not to notice him. Saul was also not to be very wise. See, he didn't heed the old prophets, the advice and the instructions that the Lord told him to do. So God heard his people, and he went and talked to Samuel.
Samuel, I need you to go to Saul and tell him what I am telling you. Tell him these are the words that will come true.
I will do this, Lord. Saul, you have disobeyed God, and God said you will lose your kingdom. You will not lose it at once, though. You will no longer be God's king as soon as the right hand in God's sight should be found and trained for duty as king. Then God will take away your power. God will give it to the man whom he has chosen. This will be many years down the road.
So Saul hears this, and he gets off. But then Samuel goes back and he talks to God.
Do not weep and mourn any longer over Saul, for I have refused him as king. Fill the horn with oil and go to Bethlehem in Judah. There find a man named Jesse, for I have chosen a king among his sons.
Saul will be angry with me. How can I go? If Saul hears of it, he will kill me.
Take a young cow with you, and tell the people that you have come to make an offering to the Lord. And call Jesse and his sons to the sacrifice. I will tell you what to do, and you shall anoint the one whom I name.
So Samuel went over the mountain southward from Ramah to Bethlehem, about 10 miles, leading a cow. The rulers of the town were alarmed at their coming, for they feared that he had come to judge them for some of their evil doing. But Saul had told them,
People, I've sent Samuel in peace. I want him to hold a feast for the Lord and offer sacrifices. Please welcome him.
When they came, he looked at all the sons of Jesse very closely. The oldest was named Eli, and he was so tall and noble looking that Samuel thought, surely this man would be the one whom God has chosen. But God told him,
Do not look on his face, nor on the height of his body, for I have not chosen him. Man judges by the outward looks, but God looks at the heart. I have not chosen any of these sons. There is but one more.
None of these men as God has chosen. Are there any more of your children?
There is one more son. He is the youngest. He's in the field and he's caring for the sheep. His name is David.
Good. Send for him, for I will not sit down till he comes.
David! David! I'll have to go get him. He doesn't pay attention.
Take your time.
David.
Hey, it's Dan.
Hi, David.
Hey, dude.
David, there's a man here. He wants to see you, so let's come talk to him.
Okay.
This is David, Samuel.
Arise, anoint him, for this is the one whom I have chosen.
So then Samuel poured oil on David's head in the presence of all his brothers. But no one knew at that time the anointing to mean that David was going to be king. Perhaps they thought that David was chosen to be a prophet like Samuel. From that time, the Spirit of God came upon David, and he began to show signs of upcoming greatness. He went back to his sheep on the hillsides around Bethlehem, and God was with him. Now David grew up strong and brave. not afraid of the wild beasts which prowled around and tried to carry away his sheep. More than once he fought with lions and bears, and he killed them. When they tried to seize the lambs. And David alone all day practiced throwing stones in a sling until he could strike exactly the place for which he aimed. When he swung his sling, he knew that the stone would go to the very spot on which he was throwing it. And young as he was, David thought of God and talked with him. And God talked with David and showed David his will. So after a while, after Saul had disobeyed the voice of the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord left Saul. So no longer he even spoke to him. And Saul became very sad of heart. At times a madness would come upon him. And at all times he was very unhappy. The servants of Saul noticed that when someone played on the harp and sang, Saul's spirit was made more cheerful, and the sadness of Saul left him.
Servant, go find someone who can play the harp well, and bring him to me. Have him play me some music, because it makes me happier.
I have seen a young man, a son of Jesse in Bethlehem. He can play well. He is handsome in his looks and easy to talk to. I've also heard that he is a brave young man who can fight as well as he can play, and the Lord is with him. He is Jesse's son, David.
Very well. Go to Jesse and tell him to send me David, who is with the sheep, and let him play before me.
So servant goes and gets David. Then David came to Saul, bringing with him the harp and a present. When Saul saw him, he loved him, as did anyone who saw the young David. And David played on the harp, and he sang before Saul. And David's music cheered Saul's heart and drove away his sad feelings. Saul liked David so well that he made him his armor bearer, and later on carried the shield and spear and sword for Saul when they went to battle, when the king was before his army. But Saul did not know that David had already been anointed by Samuel. So after a time, Samuel seemed well, and so David returned to Bethlehem and once again was among his sheep in the field.
Thank you, David. You may go back and tend to your sheep.
You're welcome, sir.
Now later, the Philistine army gathered together for war and assembled for war on the top of a hill. King Saul and his army assembled on another hill, but there was a valley between the two armies. The Philistines had a champion named Goliath, who was over 9 feet tall. He wore a bronze helmet on his head, and he wore a coat of armor that weighed over 125 pounds. His spear was as large as the weaver's rod, and an iron tip that by itself weighed about 15 pounds. Goliath stood in the valley and shouted so the army of Israel could hear him.
Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your servants. But if I win, you will serve us. I defy the armies of Israel. Send someone down to fight me.
Goliath came out and said these words every day for 40 days. Saul and his army was so terrified, nobody wanted to fight Goliath. But meanwhile, back in Bethlehem, where David and Jesse are, Jesse comes and talks to David.
David.
You keep scaring me.
I'm sorry. I want you to take this bag of grain and these loaves of bread and take them to your brothers in the army. They're over with Saul. See how they're doing and come back and tell me.
Yeah, sure thing, Dad.
So David left the flock of sheep and with another shepherd and went to his brothers. When he reached the camp, the army had already left their tents and gone to the valley to line up for battle. You see, they drew up lines for battle every day, but retreated when Goliath came out. So David ran out to greet his brothers just as Goliath was walking out from the Philistine camp.
Here comes Goliath.
Hey, guys.
I defy the armies of Israel! Send someone out to fight me, you cowards!
Who is this proud Philistine who dares to defy the armies of the living God? What will be done for the man who removes this disgrace from Israel?
Saul said that whoever defeats Goliath will receive great wealth, freedom from taxes for his whole family, and an invitation to become part of the royal family by marrying one of Saul's daughters.
Wow. Somebody must do something. This Philistine has no right to defy the armies of God. I'll take him on if nobody else will.
David, you little turd. If you're here, who's watching the sheep? Get out of here. Shoot. Scream.
Now what am I done? Can't I even speak? I'm just asking because no one will dare take on this Goliath. God is on our side. Surely God will give us victory.
But David kept talking like this until finally the soldiers took him to see King Saul.
What about the greatest?
Hello, baby. Do you wish to speak with me about something?
Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. I'll go fight him.
You cannot go out and fight him. You're just a boy. Goliath is a professional soldier.
I've been keeping my father's sheep. I've protected the sheep from the mouth of the lion and the claw of the bear. The God who protected me against them, he'll protect me against that Philistine.
You may go, and I hope the Lord is with you. But I want you to wear this suit of armor.
So Saul put on an armor coat on David and put a bronze helmet on his head, and he gave him a heavy sword. David walked around for a few minutes wearing the armor. Then he said,
I can't wear this. What am I supposed to do? I can't do that.
Fine. Take this bow.
What is that? You can't shoot a rock with that.
How you shoot arrows.
I don't do that. Thank you, Saul, but no thanks.
Very well. The blood is not on my hands.
So David took all the armor and refused to put it back on. Then he left Saul and went out to meet Goliath with his shepherd's staff in his hand and a sling as his weapon. On the way to battle line, he stopped at a stream and picked up 5 smooth stones and put them in his shepherd's bag. Goliath saw him coming, carrying his shepherd's staff.
What is this? Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks and stones? Come here, boy, and I'll give your flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. I defy you in the name of my great God, Dagon.
You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord God Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel. Today, the Lord will hand you over to me, and I'll strike you down and cut your head off. And then the bodies of the Philistine army will be given to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field, and the whole world will know that there is one God in Israel. The battle belongs to God, and he will give you into my hand.
So as Goliath moved closer, David reached in his bag and he pulled out one of his stones and he loaded it into the sling. He swung the sling around his head and then let the stone fly. The stone hit Goliath right between the eyes and sank into his forehead. Goliath fell down onto the ground. When the Philistines saw that the champion was dead, they turned and they ran. But the Israelite soldiers chased and killed many of them.
Chase them!
Okay. Alright, guys. The disciples of Jesus were also fearful and self-protecting before his resurrection. They listened to Jesus' teaching and they followed him, but they saw him and they wanted him to help them build the kingdom and make a name for themselves, so they argued over who would have the most possessions. Whenever you trust in and focus on yourself, you will have little courage and won't often succeed. But when you trust in God, you will always succeed. Isaiah's going to pray.
Let's pray. Father God, thank you for allowing us to come here today, God. Thank you for the sunshine you give us, God. I thank you for this story in David. I pray that you allow us just to have the courage, God, to face our trials, God. In your name I pray. Amen.
My hand.